All right, well, we're going to get started and I'm going to record this and then I'll try to upload it to my YouTube so that I can share it. Let me get this started here. Here we are. All right, well, welcome to the webinar for Team Life Elevated. My name is Tiffany Erickson, and I'm excited to have you here tonight, and then I'm excited to share. You know, if you're not on the live webinar, that's okay. You can watch the recording, and I hope that you can glean something from it. We're going to start off with our definition of wellness. And this is in Life Elevated and in our community. Our definition of wellness is the constant conscious pursuit of living life to one's fullest potential. So, you know, that just means that we are doing everything we can to reach our fullest potential in all capacities and not just settling for anything. And in this entire webinar, my first obligation is to tell you that we educate, you decide, and we support. So this is about me giving you some information and you deciding what's best for you, and then us supporting you as a team. And, you know, everyone has to come to their conclusions themselves. So all I'm trying to do here is just share some information with you, let you decide what you would like to do with it, and then support you in that endeavor. We'll start by telling my story. It was about 4 years ago that, actually 5 years ago, I had a baby, and there she is. And I had been teaching aerobics for years and years before that. For my last 2 pregnancies, I had taught aerobics and loved it, and taught right up to my pregnancy, right up till I had the babies. And once I had her, I worked so hard for that next year. So there she was, about a year old, and I worked so hard. I ran 2 half marathons. I trained really hard, and I lost about 10 pounds. So, you know, that's me losing 10 pounds. And at that point, I was pretty frustrated. I wanted some solutions. And so there's me again, just feeling like, okay, let's get this show on the road kind of thing. So this was my plan while I was doing that. I had the pendulum plan. I had the healthy foods, and then I would go to the burgers and fries, and the healthy foods and the burgers and fries. And I didn't have a happy medium because my body was craving nutrition, but it wasn't really getting it from anywhere because I was eating empty calories, or I was eating foods that were just lacking nutrition in them. So before we go any further, I want to just have a few disclaimers that these statements have not been evaluated or approved by the Food and Drug Administration. We are approved as a food, but Isagenix is not a medication. And so therefore we don't make any medical claims that we cure, diagnose, or treat or prevent any disease. I will say, though, that when your body gets good nutrition, it's amazing how it responds. The weight loss testimonials presented apply only to the individuals depicted and cannot be guaranteed. So it's basically that the results that you receive are based on the work that you do as well. And I also believe there's a much it's really important that we realize that our mind, body, and our spirit have all linked together. So let's go back to my story. And I was dealing with trying to eat healthy, but, you know, not being able to find the right nutrients. And it's really true that you are what you eat. I don't know if you've noticed how our chickens are being raised, but I thought this was a pretty funny little cartoon. It says, "I don't believe I was born to live in my whole life in a dark, filthy building crammed in a wire cage so small I can't spread my wings." And that would be really funny if that weren't actually true, but that actually is the case. So that's kind of gross. So what's up with our food? There's something going on, and people are recognizing that. And if you just look around, these are just a few of the most recent documentaries that have been made talking about our foods. And so America is in a health crisis. There's a lack of poor nutrition due to the way our foods are processed. There's environmental impurities that our bodies are trying to process, but it's just they were not created for that. They were not created to process what we are asking them to process right now. And that's why a lot of bodies are just shutting down. Then we are aging, that's just a normal thing. So our bodies are aging and they're not getting the support that they need. So I'm going to show you a few things that will be what I believe are great solutions to these problems. And they have definitely blessed my life. And I hope to be able to instill in them, the value that they've been given to me. So our foods have preservatives, herbicides, and pesticides are highly used in all of our foods. And even if you're eating organic, so say you're very adamant that you don't buy herbicides and pesticides, you don't buy anything but organic foods, they have herbicides and pesticides in them, in the soils, which have killed off most of our microorganisms. And those microorganisms are what break down the minerals that go into your foods. So it's really important for us to understand that even if we're not getting herbicides and pesticides on our foods now, the soil is so depleted of those nutrients because we've killed a huge percentage. Like, we don't even know the percentage of the microorganisms that we have killed. Our foods are overly processed. And of course, there's so many GMOs that are overly used, especially in the US and Canada. And, overseas, that's not even allowed in a lot of places. So that's a big deal. There's a UCLA study that maybe you're familiar with and maybe you're not. In 1953, UCLA did a study on a plot of farmland in California, and they reported that one bowl of spinach gave your body the daily supply of iron and the nutrients that it needed. Well, this is many years later, in 1997, UCLA did the same study and found on the same plot of land that 43 bowls of spinach were needed to give your body the daily supply of nutrients. And that's not just spinach, clearly. It's all sorts of vegetables and produce. So when I said earlier that I was eating, healthy, I was thinking I was eating healthy because I was having produce, but then I was still hungry, so then I would go and binge on, a burger or something. It was really because my body was just saying, give me some nutrition, and it was seeking nutrition, and I didn't know how to provide that. So I thought this was funny. So our bodies are craving nutrition. Our bodies don't care about calories as much as they crave nutrition. It doesn't matter to our bodies so much. Those calories, you can say, well, a donut is X amount of calories, or, and it's not the same. It's not the same. So our bodies really are counting nutrition. They're looking for nutrients. These are some of the people who I wanted to show you. This is Becky. She's on our team. These are her results. And then this is Michelle. She used to work for corporate, and she decided to quit and build her Isagenix business. This is Will. He was an Isabani finalist last year and was a personal trainer, didn't believe in the products until he tried them, and he had amazing results. One thing that I love about Isagenix is that we have a scientific advisory board, and that's huge because John Anderson is the man on the right, and he was known as the Mineral Man. He had developed for over 600 companies, over 2,300 different products, and loved what he did. He's a master at minerals and working with herbal substances in ways that other people just cannot even figure out because he's so good at what he does. He was tired of, he had gone into retirement, wasn't developing for companies anymore, but he just has a passion for this. And he wanted to create something where no one would mess with his formula. No one would take out any ingredients that he had put in or replace them with something that was cheaper. And he gathered around him some of the wisest, smartest doctors and scientists that he could to create the best products on the market with Isagenix. And this is just some of the people who work on this. So this is our scientific advisory board, but there's so much more behind the scenes that goes into this. And I love that. So that's one reason why I really trust Isagenix. And I also really trust Isagenix because of the no compromise quality, 100% guarantee. So if you don't like it, they give you 100% of your money back. You have a 30-day money back guarantee, and that's awesome. This is one example that Isagenix has grass-fed cows from New Zealand. So they don't use, our whey is not from cows in the US or anywhere else, which I'm sure there are decent cattle raising habits, but it's just not as widespread. And in New Zealand, they have specific rules, like they can't give their cows any antibiotics. They can't milk them out of season because that stresses them out. You know, they have to be grass fed and grazing cows. So this is a huge deal for us. And we also use undenatured. We use a specific cold processed way to process our whey. And so it's considered undenatured. And most whey is actually denatured. It's not going to say that on the package because that's not really something you would advertise. But most whey is actually cooked. And so the nutrients are killed inside it. But Isagenix has a patented formula for creating undenatured whey protein. So it's very awesome. So I'm going to share with you a few of the pillars of health. This is what we call the pillars of health. The first one is Isagenix Supreme. And I love Isagenix. If you've had Isagenix, you kind of crave it every day. It's just one of those things like you know that this is something you need in your body every single day. It improves recovery. I know that when I ran those same 2 half marathons the next year, I didn't train as long. I probably should have trained as long, but I didn't. And I ran each half marathon 19 minutes faster than I had the year before. My muscle recovery was way better. And I know that a lot of it had to do with this Isagenix Supreme. It definitely elevates daily performance and it normalizes the body's systems. And I love, love, love those adaptogenic herbs. So this is the Cleanse for Life. And I love Cleanse for Life. So you can do this 3 different ways and people choose. They can do daily cleansing. They can do once a week. You can do a full day cleanse, or you can do a 2-day cleanse, and you can do those 2 up to 3 times in a month. It has your daily antioxidants. It nourishes the body. So this is something where we're taking out those impurities and we're nourishing our body, giving it it has amazing things for your digestive tract just to keep it supported. But I will say this, I didn't write this down, but I don't know how else to say it, but this is what Travis Garza says. It's not a poopy cleanse. So don't think that this is something that's going to make you sick to your stomach. This is actually a cellular level cleanse, and it's supporting your body on that deep, deep level. It's convenient and portable. I got that from the website. I'm so glad that they put that it was convenient and portable. And also, you can choose. So that's something we talked about. But I do love it. I love having the powder on hand, and I love having the liquid in my fridge. So it's just really convenient. Sometimes I'll take a little bit before I go to bed, or sometimes I'll do a full cleanse day. Generally in our team, we do every Monday is a designated cleanse day if you choose to do it that day. So that's a lot of fun. This is the Isagenix isolene shakes that I was talking about. These have the undenatured whey protein, and you can actually get a more athletic version, which is the Isolene Pro. It has a little bit more protein in it and supports that muscle building if you're in the gym quite a bit. So this is our full meal replacement. So in love with that because it's 240 calories. With ice and water. That's all you have to add. You don't have to put in bananas and milk and almond milk. Like, you can put those things in, especially if you're making them for your kids. That's when I love that they're safe for your kids. But if you're looking at this for, say, a weight loss solution, then all you have to do is ice and water. And so that's $2.78 for a meal. You can't get much better than that. So, 24 grams of protein in the isolene shake. So it's just an amazing shake, and we really love it. I forgot to put a picture of these. So this is the Daily Essentials with Product B, and these are our vitamins. And our vitamins come in a morning AM and PM pack, and they're so convenient. You can just tear them apart, put them in your pocket for later, or you can take them in the morning. And the Product B you can also buy separately. So if you don't, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't want the vitamins, then you can buy just the Product B, and that's telomere support. It supports youthful aging, improved absorption for better delivery cells. What that means is that they've improved the absorption on the gel capsule for the Product B. So, our vitamins have CoQ10, vitamin D3, and resveratrol, as well as botanicals and other antioxidants to support your health. Our daily essentials are awesome. And I know Janica, she's not on the webinar right now, but on our team, she said she loved them because she got citrus burps. And That's actually a thing. I was looking at the podcast, and she was right. She was not the only one that said that. So it's because our fish oils in the vitamins are actually healthy. So if you ever have a vitamin where you get that like fishy taste from them, that is actually a rancid fish oil. I learned that. So that's what's our vitamins are absorbable, and just amazing, just awesome vitamins. So this is some of the ways to get started. These are not the only ways to get started, but I always like to show people the packs because it's an option that you can choose. This is our family/business starter pack. So if you were to do this as like a business, this does have quite a bit of a tax write-off if you were to start with that. Not everyone starts with this, but it's a great way to start if that's something you're looking at doing. And that's about $36 a day. So you think about your whole family, that's pretty darn awesome. This is the Have It All pack, so it's also known as our President's Pack, and it has all three systems. So I like to say it this way: it has the your vitamins and product B, so that's one system. It has your snacking, like your chocolates help with your snacking, your isolene bars help with your snacking, some other things, and then it also contains your 30-day system. So it has all three of those systems. Really awesome for helping you to get everything a complete, rounded, and awesome experience with Isagenix. And then we have the Pace Setter pack, and I apologize for this picture. This was off the website, but it is kind of blurry. And that one's about $15 a day. So it has two of the three systems. It doesn't have the vitamins. So it does have your snacking needs, and it does have your 30-day system. And then this is your weight loss system, your 30-day system. And this one has all of your meals plus your cleansing. So it's a great deal if that's what you're aiming toward in the weight loss category, and I definitely had great results starting out with this. At the end of the day, this is the way it works. You pay $29 for a membership, you choose what works for you, and then we support you. It's pretty simple. There's a lot of different things to choose from, and if you need specific needs, if you're not looking for weight loss, if you're looking for, just healthy aging, or if you're an athlete and you're looking for that, we have systems that work specifically for you. And I know a lot of people like to just choose and start with different products, so that's totally fine too. It's up to you. So I like to show some of the things that some of the people that Isagenix is for, because a lot of people will think, well, it's just for weight loss, I don't need to lose weight, but it's actually for a lot of different areas, like I was just saying. So these are some of our athletes. We have a huge amount of athletes, professional athletes, models, fitness models, and other professional competitors that use Isagenix are not paid by the company, as far as the company doesn't subsidize them or hire them to advertise for Isagenix. They do pay them as associates. So we have Lori Harder, Angelique Norrie, JJ Burden. These guys are all associates in Isagenix, building a business legitimately because they love the quality of these products. And I think it's awesome that they do that. So it's also for healthy weight loss. And so there's a lot of great stories that go along with that. And you can check out more of those in our group and online. And then it's also for healthy aging. So I didn't really talk about Bill Andrews, but this is a picture of Bill Andrews. He was he was the first person, I think this is the Time magazine. I can't remember what magazine this was. Oh, it was Science. Maybe it was a science one. But anyway, he committed to his dad when he was younger. I think he was like 11. He said he was going to cure aging or die trying. And he and his team actually discovered and did a ton of research on telomeres, which is what product B works on, and received a Nobel Prize for it. Well, after that, he was introduced to John Anderson, and they created together product B. So that's one reason why we're so much ahead of the scale on product B. And it's an amazing opportunity for anyone to be able to participate in taking product B. So remember, at the beginning of the presentation, I said we support, we educate, you decide, and we support. And that's really our motto and our goal. So if you feel Isagenix is the next step for you, get in touch with the person who invited you to this webinar. Let them know that you would like to discuss, whether we talked about one of those packs or whatever's going to be right for you. They'll help you get started, and I'd hope that this is the beginning of something amazing for you. So thank you for joining. I really appreciate you spending your time here on the webinar and or watching the recording, and have a wonderful rest of your day.